The first time I met my man Angelo from Cosmos Inc., we were in Long Beach and we scratched the surface of what it takes to get into sublimation. Well, you guys had a lot of questions, so I'm here in Atlanta talking to my man Angelo again. I'm at his new facility and we're gonna get into it right after the intro. Let's jump right into it. Let's start with printers. The most common printers that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen it too, are the Epson Workforce printers. Which printers are those and why are they so popular?
Well, it would be the 7720 and the 7710. The reason why they are extremely popular is because it is a budget-friendly option to enter the world of sublimation.
Now, printers change so much. I've been doing inkjet stuff. I get a lot of questions about what inkjet printer to buy, and by the time I recommend something or I make a video on something, it's already outdated or discontinued. And now I know there's a new wave of printers coming along. Which printers are those and why are they becoming so popular?
Now the recommended printer is the Epson EcoTank 15,000. The reason why EcoTanks are more popular now is because you no longer have to deal with cartridges, all right? Cartridge errors, filling up your cartridges, the printer not reading the correct levels in the cartridge. You can just skip all that just by getting an EcoTank, because all you're doing is pouring the ink into the printer and printing. That's it.
That sounds good. So you don't have to deal with the cartridges, and it sounds like you can kind of like get rid of some of those headache cartridge errors that you usually get, or the troubleshoot that you usually have to go to. So are there any troubleshooting things that have come up already so far at working with the ET1500?
Actually, no. Well, the only thing that may come up is you may have to run a printer head cleaning, and that's just standard, right? If you don't print in a long time, I mean, honestly, that's what a lot of the more expensive printers, they do that for you automatically. That's why when you leave it plugged up, every now and then you may hear the printer running, and it's just running a standard printer head cleaning to stop the ink from drying out inside your printer head.
So the 7710 and 7720 around 200 bucks, you know, usually under 200 bucks now at this point. So where do the EcoTanks come in as far as pricing?
So the EcoTank 15,000 right now is right at $600, and the one underneath that, which is the EcoTank ET2760, that's at around $300.
All right, got you. So you got a $300 printer that you can jump in and get started compared to the Sawgrass $600. What is that? The 500
SG500.
SG500, and then you have a $600 printer, which would be an equivalent to the SG1000. And all you got to do is grab some ink and you're good to go with the EcoTank. So it seems like I might not be getting that 1000 that I said I was going to get maybe a week ago when I sold my printer to my cousin. But what things do we need to get into sublimation? Can you give us a quick rundown of that stuff?
So you'll need, of course, a printer. You have the EcoTank, like we said, the EcoTank ET15,000, which is going to be cartridgeless. And then you're gonna have the Epson 7720. So just one of those two printers, it is worth it to spend that extra few $100s to get that ET1500. After that, you're gonna need sublimation ink. We do have sublimation ink for pretty much virtually any Epson EcoTank printer. All right, so that'll be the EcoTank 15,000, the ET2760, 3760, 4760, the ET16500. So of course you need sublimation ink.
My mind is like blown right now with these printers. So go ahead, keep going.
So you're gonna need that. You're also going to need sublimation paper. All right, I recommend sublimation paper from Crafting Besties. All right, if you need sublimation paper, hit them up. All right, they sell 13 by 19 and they have 11 by 17.
I'm gonna add to this. I made sure you went and got this because I wanted to plug another person from the community that is trying to make sure that our lives are a little bit easier, spreading information and good products. And a lot of you guys ask me what paper is the best, and I'm not the best guy to answer that question. I'm gonna go to the sublimation gurus, and my man Cosmo has recommended this, so I bet I know what I'm gonna order the next time it's time for me to order some paper. What else we got?
All right, so you are going to need heat transfer tape. A lot of people don't use transfer tape, and that's the reason why they have ghosting on their items whenever they press it, especially cloth. So always use heat transfer tape with anything that you press to avoid that double shown image. After that, you're gonna need butcher paper. I recommend getting butcher paper from Websterant. They ship pretty much anywhere in the United States. They probably do worldwide too. I don't know because I'm here.
Right.
So yeah, get that from there, and that also stops the ink from going through the shirt onto the back side of the shirt. So you have to have butcher paper and make sure, and make sure it's unwaxed butcher paper as well.
Got you.
After that, you're going to need a heat press. As far as the size heat press, I recommend getting a 16 by 20. And the reason behind that is when you're using 13 by 19 paper, you're gonna need at least 1 inch of leeway on each side of your paper. So definitely get a 16 by 20. After that, you are going to need a lint roller. And I highly recommend a lint roller because when you're pressing on 100% polyester, especially fabric, if you heat press it before lint rolling it, you're gonna get those squiggly blue lines pretty much everywhere that your heat platen touched. So to avoid that, just get a lint roller, roll your shirt out, a few times, and then you're good to go with the rest of the process as far as putting your paper on your shirt, taping it down, and the other stuff you gotta do. And the last few things are optional. They have mug press, which is catered towards coffee mugs, shot glasses, different sizes of coffee mugs and shot glasses. And then they have a cap press as well. If you all can see a little red machine over there, and that's catered towards doing hats.
So when it comes to like starting a heat press business from home, I kind of like tell people, one thing I tell them is at least a 15 by 15, right? You're doing vinyl, most of the stuff you're gonna do is 12 by 12. If you plan on getting a sublimation, I'm gonna take the sublimation expert's advice and say, I can definitely see why a 16 by 20 is needed because I used to do some 16 by 20 prints and stuff like that on shirts, and you wanna kinda have that big area, especially because a lot of them substrates, pillows, and different things that you can make are kind of big, rather. You know what I mean? It's not always a shirt and stuff like that. When it comes to getting into the business, I tell people to start where they are with what they have. So that means you come in, you get your heat press, you get your vinyl cutter, whatever direction you want to start with. The first thing, in my case, I'm gonna invest in is a hat press, maybe an inkjet printer, and then right after those things, those are kind of like really, really low on cost. I'm going into sublimation, and I'm going to grab a sublimation printer, and I'm going to start to do some of those things. The key to this all is finding items that you think your market will need or use or purchase. I myself was kind of slow into the sublimation game. Even the last time we talked, I probably only had done like some football shirts and stuff like that with some characters on it, only because I didn't feel like my market wanted mugs and different things like that. Now, if that's the case and you guys want mugs or they want other novelty items, then jump into that stuff because you can make money on it. The cost is very, very low, especially when you got my man Cosmo's ink. The ink cost is low, the substrates aren't that much, and you can kind of mark those up maybe, 500?
Yeah.
500% at least.
Yes.
And you'll be probably one of the cheapest people out there, but you'll be able to make a great profit with sublimation. So when it comes to getting into sublimation, what things do you recommend people consider? What was that question I asked you?
What are the top 5 things you think people sublimate?
Okay, yeah, got you. So when it comes to the items that you sublimate, what do you think the top 5 things people sublimate? I'm going to say the first one. Right now, masks are booming right now. I was making like $1,000 a day retailing masks out the store, man, for like at least 2 weeks straight. I swear to you, no lie, $20 a pop. I could not keep another. One day I actually went to Danny and I got all of the rest. I just like, how many you got left? I'm buying them all because it was just crazy. But what are 5 things that you think people should get into sublimation to print?
Of course, like you said, number one, the mask, definitely hop on the trend. It is a fast money maker right now. After that, I've seen a lot of people do all over t-shirts. I've seen people do socks. I would say pillowcases and
mugs.
Yes.
You forgot mugs. You can't forget the mugs, man. I got one mug I made over actually with Jared from Heat Press Nation. I kind of use that thing to drink tea every time I make it. You know what I mean? It just got my face on it, got the Nipsey Hussle tribute logo on it. Man, oh man, there's a lot to do when it comes to this business and expanding. I think Sublimation is here. My man Cosmo is making some of the best ink out here for Sublimation. With you guys in mind, making it cost effective to get into it. I mean, the cost difference between Sawgrass ink and your ink, and then even just like investing into a Sawgrass printer versus what you're recommending, an Epson printer, is ridiculous. It's like the same thing as going from a Gravitech to a Cameo almost, right? You think about it, but everything has its place, and I think you're doing some great things, man. The last time we talked, we were talking about you opening this place up, and now you got a warehouse, a huge warehouse, nonetheless, just to keep up with the demand. So I appreciate you, man. I want you to keep going, man. Keep changing the industry. I think both of us are doing great things, and all of the YouTubers out here trying to better people's lives and spread information is going pretty well. So you guys, do us a favor. Stop right now. Like this video, comment, subscribe. In the description below, we're going to put some links to Crafting Bestie's papers, some of the printers I've seen on the other side that you can convert and get into, and definitely my link down there, cosmo.tshirtsize.com, where you guys can pick up Cosmo's ink and keep this thing going, man. So it's not the last time I'm going to be here, but because I'm coming back for a tour once the other side is outfitted, when you guys stop buying up all this ink and you can have some in here for him to operate with. But again, man, we appreciate you guys. This has been your boy Stan Banks from T-Shirt Size, visiting Angelo from Cosmos Inc. Peace.